we have a linear situation on both sides of this equal sign, and we're admittedly going to do this in a slightly more complicated manner than we could. And the reason is because when harder questions come, we want you to be equipped to be able to handle those. So we're going to approach this from the standpoint of splitting an equation into two functions. When you are given two equations or two functions and you're asked for the intersection, what you're supposed to do is get them both in the y equals format and set them equal. So the converse is also true. If you see two equations set equal to one another, or if you see a simple equation, you can imagine that they are two equations that have been set equal. And if we're going to split it back up, it would look like this for the one on the left and like this for the one on the right. Now, the one on the right, y equals 8, that's going to be a horizontal line. And for people who are not great with horizontal lines, just imagine you have the collection of all the points that have a y value of 8. So 0, 8, 1, 8, 2, 8, 3, 8, and so on. And it's going to paint out for you a horizontal line. And the address of that line is y equals 8. So now for the one on the left, believe it or not, that's actually in y equals mx plus b format. So the slope is the b minus 2 and the y-intercept is the 0. Now, with all this background information, it makes sense that they're saying that there's no solution here because there are three ways two lines can interact. They can have one solution if the two lines have different slopes. They have different slopes. They could look like that and like that. Let's not give them the same y-intercept. So that would be one solution if the slopes are different. We would have no solutions if the slopes are the same and the y-intercepts are different, and that would look like parallel lines if the slopes were the same, but the y-intercepts were different. And infinite solutions is the idea that when you go to graph your lines, it turns out that they actually were the same line overall. And so infinite solutions look something like that. The two lines have the same slopes and same y-intercepts. So here, if we have no solutions, we're kind of talking about this situation where we know that because they're parallel lines, the slopes have to be the same and the y-intercepts have to be different. So let's come back to that y equals 8. In an mx plus b form, believe it or not, that would be y equals 0x plus 8. So it has no slope, it's flat. The slope is 0. The y-intercept is 8. Now, if the other one has no solution, that means it's somewhere else on that graph, but we know that it's also horizontal. We don't know it's there, just giving you an example. If they have to be parallel because there's no solution, the two lines are never hitting. And so what we know from that, like we said, is the slopes are equal. This is in purple. This is the slope of the first one. And the second one, it has a slope of 0 because horizontal lines have a slope of 0. They're just totally flat. There is no incline. There is no slope. So if we set the slopes equal, that would look like b minus 2 equals 0, and b equals the nice and easy number 2.